MCC Season 2 has brought together even more legendary Minecraft players to battle it out to be the very best. And yet the question still remains, who will come out on top? Well, I'm here to answer that question right here, right now. These are the top 10 MCC players of Season 2. But before we begin, if you disagree with this list, then let me know your very own top 10 in the comments section below. And whilst you're down there, remember to subscribe. I'm a small channel, but I have big dreams, so it would mean the world to me if you did. Anyway, enough messing around. Let's start with 10th place, SB737. SB may be a shock start to many for this ranking, but during Season 2 he's been incredible, as well as probably the most consistent player out there, achieving 3 7th places in a row, which what are the chances? During this epic run he also managed to pick up his first win in MCC 17, before almost doubling it in MCC 20, unfortunately just missing out on Dodgeball in the end. But even so, it just proves how good he's been, with a total average score of 2,735 points. However, whilst we're here, we also have a few honourable mentions, which are Fundy, Antfrost, H-Bomb, CPK and Vicstar, who all just miss out on the top 10, but with one epic performance in MCC 26 could nab a top spot. But with that being said, let's move on to 9th place, JoJoSolos. For me, ever since joining the Canon event, I've known JoJo was phenomenal, and with her securing her first win in MCC 25, I'm so happy that everyone can finally agree she's one of the best out there, like I've been saying for so long. And what a way to do so, by the way, with a dominant performance for her team that not only saw them grab the victory, but also her getting first place individually as well, which has only helped her average score massively, as she comes home with 2,771 points, only a few behind 8th place, PeteZahHutt. Another brilliant player that stood out in MCC 25, as Pete went from 40th to 8th place individually in a terrific show of brilliance that should prove to everyone that he's still got it, which it's not like anyone should ever think he's ever lost it, because he's had some almighty performances in Season 2, including a superb win that he shared with SB737 in MCC 17, where he also came first place individually with a massive score that, when put with his average, gives him an overall points record of 2,800, which is only 3 points behind 7th place, Dream. Guys, I don't know if you knew this, but Dream has a face and it's glorious. Just a tiny bit less glorious than his MCC Season 2 performances so far, with him getting wins in MCC 15, 16 and 24, which has given him the chin up on the rest of the competition on his way to 5 wins overall, and the very special MCC medal, with him being the 3rd competitor to reach such a feat. But can he go one better and be our first 6-time champion in the future? Well, with a score of 2,803 points, time can only tell what's next for Dream. 6th place, Purpled. I'm going to come out and say it, I already think Purpled's underrated. I mean, whilst he's already got a win in MCC 22, it seems like no one's talking about the fact he's only come outside the top 3 twice in his first 5 events, and one of them was his first, so does that really count? I mean, he's been sensational, and I can only see him getting better and better from here on out, as he hunts for a top 5 position. But for now, he sits on an average score of 2,815 points. But before we get on to the superb top 5 players, please remember to subscribe. It would mean the world to me if you did, as we head on to 5th place, Punz. Another truly underrated player in MCC is the one and only Punz, who's been insane during Season 2, getting into Dodgeball twice literally in the first 2 events. Unfortunately, however, he missed out in Dodgeball and hasn't been able to make it to the arena since then. But even so, he's been so brilliant and is super unlucky to not have a victory as of yet. And he should be proud of his dominance, having never finished outside the top 10 individually this season, which has left him with a score of 2,909 points. 4th place, Fruitberries. What can I say about Fruit that hasn't already been said? A PvP master, a Whacker fan lord. He's been almighty throughout Season 2 and is yet again another player who is crazily unlucky to have yet to grab a win, which is ludicrous, especially when you consider the fact he's been to 4 dodgeballs as well, somehow missing out on the win on each and every one, which is horrendously unfair, especially when you consider how good he's been, with a massive average score of 2,967 points, which does mean he just loses out on a top 3 position to 3rd place, Quig. Look, for a while I thought we'd entered a very desperate zone as we searched for another MCC winner on this list. However, the almighty Quig has come in to save the day, as he won his first event in 15 with MCC 22, which was an incredible performance from him as he grabbed the top spot individually as well to make it even more special. He's also been brilliant for the rest of Season 2, being another player who's never missed out on the top 10, which means he joins the 3,000 points club with a score of 3,017 points. But there's still a long way to go to our top 2, which begins with 2nd place, Illumina. That's right, of course it has to be Illumina, who, let's be honest, has become a bit of an MCC god, as he's quickly speedrunned his way to success. However, unfortunately, despite being brilliant this season, never dropping out the top 5 and finding his way to 3 dodgeballs, he somehow is still looking for a win so far, which is truly crazy, and I'm telling you, there must be some sort of curse in the Fruit Ninja household for this to be continuing to happen. Even so, he's brilliant, and so close to grabbing the top spot with a score of 3,116 points, just losing out to 1st place, Sapnap. Look, if you're wondering why barely anyone else on this list can grab a win, then look no further than Sapnap, who's been outstanding this season, showing brilliant skill and talent that took him to wins in MCC 15, 18, 19 and 21, making him the 2nd ever 5-time winner behind H-Bomb. I mean, there's barely any words to describe just how dominant he's been, as he's broke records in Dodgeball, Battlebox, Meltdown and many more, to truly become the best of Season 2, with a huge score of 3,158 points. But with that being said, we've now reached the end of this almighty video. Thank you so much to the Ultra Sheep Lord and their team for collecting this incredible data. You can find them in the description below, as well as thank you all for watching as well. And finally, of course, peace.